I keep telling people, offensively, he's a 7'4" version of Kevin Durant.
Wembanyama goes right by Durant. Wemby with the left hand.
We've seen our fair share of rookies making waves in the league, but this 7'4" forward center isn't just turning heads. He's rearranging the entire defensive playbooks of NBA teams. And what makes this kid stand out isn't just his stature. No. Wembanyama moves like a point guard and dribbles past defenders easily. He also launches three-pointers from Steph Curry's territory. I mean, who does that? So why is it so darn hard to guard Victor Wembanyama? Stick around because we're diving deep into the skills and strategies that make this 19-year-old rookie a nightmare. Let's roll.
What do you think of Wemby? Because we've got to watch a little bit more of his play, and I'm curious because I've asked you about this, but now you've had a couple opportunities to watch him.
I take back everything I said, just because of his size, you know, our level of play versus.
Sure, we could talk about his 7'4" height and 8-foot wingspan all day, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Between Wembanyama's standing reach and coordination, he's a walking easy basket target. Transition? Check. Dump downs? Check. Lobs and cuts? Double check. The man moves seamlessly, going from catching the ball to finishing with a finesse that's rare for someone of his size. And his catch-to-finish game is like watching a magic trick in slow motion. Quick, single motion, and the ball's through the net. But here's the kicker, his second jump. It's like he's got springs in his shoes, leading to more second-chance points than your favorite team's hustle player. LeBron James famously called him an alien, and trust me, when Wembanyama dunks, it's like witnessing a UFO sighting. It's unbelievable. The kind of stuff that makes you question reality, and it's become a trademark move for this basketball extraterrestrial. One night, he snatched a jumper mid-air out of Sohan's hands and windmilled it back through the rim. Next, he's slipping the ball between his legs in midair for a right-handed finish. Now, while a young Shaq was all about breaking backboards, Wembanyama took a page from Durant's book. He prefers to dance on the perimeter, creating plays off the dribble. When he decides to paint the inside, he doesn't use force. Instead, he freestyles with fakes and finger rolls, impressing even the old-school legends. And speaking of legends, Shaquille O'Neal, the man who made a career out of rim destruction, sees something special in Wembanyama. O'Neal said, "He has an early entrance into the big man alliance, which I'm the president of, and Jokic is the vice president. I like the guy because he uses all his tools. He would be a 9 out of 10 for me." At the top. Now, Wembanyama is leading all rookies in scoring, dropping almost 19 points a night, 8.5 boards, and swatting shots like it's a block party. Shooting 45% from the field, this guy is making defenders question their life choices. And get this, the last guy to put up these kinds of numbers in his first 8 games was Shaquille O'Neal back in '92. But here's the kicker. Back then, Shaq was considered a one-of-a-kind force of nature. But fast forward to today, and we're hearing the same echoes. Indiana coach Rick Carlisle said it straight up. "We've never seen anything like this, and it's hard to argue when you factor in Wemby's inside-outside game." This ain't the 90s anymore, but Wembanyama is rewriting the rookie narrative. A rookie not just scoring and rebounding, but draining threes like he's been doing it for years. Larry Bird was close, but this kid is out here averaging almost 2 threes per game. Small sample size or not, that's unheard of for a rookie. I know we throw around the term unique talent a lot, but Wemby takes it to a whole new level. I mean, we're talking about a dude who can post up smaller defenders, break ankles off the dribble, and casually pull up from downtown like it's a layup. To quote Steph Curry before the season started, he's like the NBA 2K creative player. In other words, Wembanyama is a problem. He isn't just a highlight reel waiting to happen. He's a game changer. 8 games into his NBA career, and he's already making the league take notice. Brandon Miller, the number 2 pick by the Hornets, tried to break it down for Paul George on a podcast, and even he struggled. Ball screens, big man switches, none of it makes sense with Wembanyama on the court. Miller said, "Every ball screen they kept switching with big man, so I'm like, couldn't really explain what this is. Victor is, of course, not a big. He's like an animal. Ain't no position for him. San Antonio, no disrespect, but they weren't exactly the talk of the town in terms of competitiveness this season. Yet they're sitting at 3-5, and get this, 2 of those wins came against the Phoenix Suns, a team we all expect to be in the title conversation. In the first game, they came back from a 20-point deficit. Impressive, right? But the real showstopper was the second game where Wemby goes nuclear. 38 points and 10 rebounds on 15 of 26 shooting. It's like he's playing a different game out there, showcasing his potential. And here's the wild part. If he keeps doing what he's doing, we might need to adjust our expectations for the Spurs. Play-in? Playoffs? It's not as crazy as it sounds. His skill set alone might fast-track San Antonio's timeline. The key. When you're facing off against the Spurs, it all boils down to one thing: slowing down the French phenom. Easier said than done, my friends. Wembanyama is a master at scoring in tight spaces, whether it's a lob threat in a pick and roll or a stealthy cutter. Being a center, he has got opposing bigs trying to check him. Big mistake. Wembanyama is out here exploiting their confusion, positioning himself not only at the dunker spot but all over the floor, leaving defenders confused. This allows him to make a quick dive to the rim for an easy 2 points. He has got this quick post-up game that is deadly. He identifies mismatches, whether it's in size or quickness, and boom, turns and shoots or glides to the basket. It's a nightmare for defenders. And don't just take my word for it. Even Devin Booker, after the Suns got a taste of the Spurs, he said, "He's an unbelievable talent. We're all just trying to figure out what he is because we've never seen him before." I mean, if Booker is scratching his head, you know this guy is on a whole different level. Now, check this out.
When you're in that kind of groove, it's hard to beat anybody.
Collins draws 2 defenders, tosses the ball to Wemby, and bam, he scores. The Spurs are figuring out that sometimes the best move is to throw the ball where only Wembanyama could snatch it. But what sets Wembanyama apart isn't just his height. It's the fact that he's 7'4" with guard skills. Imagine trying to guard that. Sure, he might need to tighten up his handle a bit, but when he's got the ball in his hands, he can pull off some straight-up outrageous moves. And let's talk shooting. His form is butter smooth, and good luck finding someone who can challenge that shot. Durant, at 6'10" and with a 7'5" wingspan, learned that the hard way. Wembanyama made him look, well, kinda normal. Unguardable? Wembanyama is only 8 games into his career, and he won't even hit 20 until January. That play where he senses the defender cutting under the screen or anticipates the switch is tricky to defend now, and as he fine-tunes his game, it's only gonna get harder. I'm telling you, there might not be an answer to it. We might be witnessing the birth of an unguardable force in the NBA. Popovich himself mentioned at Media Day that one of the cool questions they had to answer was how to unleash the number 1 overall pick. Now, the Spurs roster is already stacked with versatility in 2022 number 9 overall pick Jeremy Sohan, 2020 first-round defender Devin Vassell, and Keldon Johnson, the 29th pick of the 2019 NBA draft. But here comes Wembanyama, stepping into the mix, taking on responsibilities like it's nobody's business. I mean, he's out here saying, "It just goes without saying that I'm playing sometimes the same role as Trey Jones, sometimes the same as Zach Collins, sometimes the same as Devin Vassell." And it's not just talk. Wemby is out here on the court doing it all. He can play any position on the court, whether that's leading the break, hitting those step-back threes, catching lobs for easy dunks. You name it, he does it and makes it look effortless. This guy is a true competitor. He wants the ball when the game is on the line. Look at the Rockets game, tying it up 111-111 and sending it into overtime. The Spurs eventually won, and Wembanyama finished with 21 points, 12 rebounds, 3 steals, and 3 blocks. Wemby told reporters, "In the NBA, you have to make big plays. You're not going to have many chances if you don't try to kill your opponent right away." It's the Wembanyama show, and right now, he's stealing the spotlight. Here's the reality check. If this dude stays healthy and keeps playing like this, it's game over for any other rookie trying to snatch that top honor. The Wembanyama era has begun, and trust me, you don't want to miss a single moment of it. Stay tuned. The NBA landscape is changing, and this French sensation is at the forefront of the revolution. But before you go, don't forget to check out the other side of the world, where Mikey Williams is facing a trial that might put a full stop to his career.